No, I know these are pistachios. Okay, I'm not that stupid. But I ate my cashews yesterday. I like cashews. I have lots of pistachios. But anyway, point I'm making: you can't make cheese from cashews. You can't, right? And this idea that somehow with enough ultra processing or reaching back into some great historic recipes, or in some way mocking up something that's cheesy with cashews makes you allowed to use the word cheese. It's wrong. Okay, we're going to start number one with why the law does not let you use cheese to describe it. Why? This law dates back to a time when we were really correcting the quality of product, right? So we've got cheese. We don't want people to extract ingredients or substitute other ingredients that would make the person buying the cheese get something that other than it is. The world out there, all those people who've been eating cheese for 10,000 years, were allowed to assume that cheese comes from milk. Milk! Milk, the greatest ingredient of all time. Every mammal on the planet feeds milk to its babies, right? This is the ultimate food. It's an absolute staple of the old school kitchen, old school diet, right? Milk's big, right? It's not a small thing, it's big, right? It's huge. And cheese and butter and cream were really important, and those things still are important today. So when people use those terms, the consumer has a right to think that they are milk-based. Two, to make cheese, you need to coagulate it, right? Basically, that's a kind of fermentation. And what we do is we take out lots of water, we get the curds to nuzzle up, maybe even join together, and then we go further than that. We begin to use those same microorganisms, those yeasts, those bacteria to get into those curds, and they're breaking it down to make the smaller molecules that are the flavors of cheese, right? Not something that's been added in by some injection or some ultra-processed process. It's a fermentation, it's a metabolism, it's natural. 10,000 years old in the human diet. 10,000 years old in the human diet. 10,000 years old in the human diet. That's what we call cheese. That microbiological process, that natural system where the big molecules are broken down to small, tasty flavonoids. I love it. Cashew cheese doesn't do that. Some people say, well, you can ferment cashews. Well, yes, you can bloody ferment cashews, but you can make beer, you can ferment to make sourdough. It doesn't make sourdough the same as beer, the same as cheese. Find your own bloody name. There's a whole bunch of processes we apply to cheese that, in the animal cheese, we talk about post-makes, we're talking about supplementary ripening with yeast and molds to make our bries and our camemberts and our Stiltons and all that kind of stuff. Can't do that with any of those cashew cheese. I mean, that is not a slam dunk argument. It's totally fair to say not all cheeses use this process. I get that, that's fine. But it does show that it's using organic agents, our molds and our yeast, etc., to do it. We're not doing it in a laboratory. Okay, that's the bit where it tells you those reasons are bound up with why the EU needs to control the use of dairy type names like cream and butter and all that thing, and essentially cheese. But there are other reasons why I think just wrong to call it cheese, right? You don't cook cashew pastes and all that kind of stuff and make those unctuous macaroni cheeses or the pizzas, or you don't slice it up and evoke Italian piazzas with avocado and basil and fresh tomato. Yeah, no, I know you can do those things with cashew, but it's not the same, and trying to shoehorn it in there, trying to make it sound the same, that's not the, it's not the same, it's not the same, it's not the same, okay? Okay, just get out of my lane. One of the reasons why milk-based products are just awesome is because when a mother gives them to a baby, whether you're a whale or a lion or a human, right, 100% of what you need is in that milk. It's in that milk. 100%, not 20%, not 50%, 100%. And things like calcium and vitamins and all that kind of stuff come in through that process. And people have a right to rely on milk being source products, so they know all those other ingredients that come along for the ride, or they can trust that they're in there for part of their nutritional diet. You start using cheese to apply nuts, and they go, well, I'm sorry, where's my calcium? Where's my calcium? Not so much, right? The equivalent, you need 2.3 kilos of calcium for 100 grams of cheese. That's not fair on the consumer. If you start saying, oh, well, you know, we can use the word cheese, we can use the word cheese, we can use the word cheese. Okay, just saying. But, right, all these things I get, and we're arguing semantics. And you know, it's a word. Who owns a word? Word is not owned by anybody, so anybody should be able to use it. I don't actually agree with that. I think words have cultural weight, and that weight matters, and that weight has understanding. If 1,000 people and 900 think this word has a certain meaning, those 900 have to be respected, right? Otherwise, it's a very big education project which won't get away. But anyway, so we've got this cultural weight behind a word. Again, right, we could argue that time is midnight. Don't agree, but okay, lose or lose. But I want to get down to one last point here, and that's that to make these cheeses, you need to use ultra processing methods, right? I'm just going to read out the ingredients of something called camembert. What is that? Camembert, water, shea butter, rice bran oil, starch, tapioca, potato, modified potato starch, miso, soy, vegetable protein, faba bean, pea, potato, nutritional yeast, salt, carrageenan, natural flavorings, don't really trust that one to be honest, lactic acid, cholesterol, that's a long list, right? Now, any one of those items might sound harmless in itself, but these are commoditized extracts using like big factories with silver pipes to start pulling these natural ingredients apart and taking out little bits and then bunging them back together to make constructive foods that are colonizing the modern diet, are often not as digestible as the original product is, and then they make them addictive and flavored up with chemicals, right? That's ultra-processed food. We're eating it in our pasta sauces and our pizzas and our Kentucky Fried Chicken and all these kind of things. It's not great. We're eating it in our... Everything you buy from the supermarket pretty much is ultra-processed because it's cheaper. It's cheaper, and the nutritional value and the way that our bodies accept this stuff, it's just, then there's again, I don't like the word Frankenstein food because it's been overused, but it is like, what? The body's just like not understanding. And so the vegans, love a vegan, it's great. Take your journey, yours, you should do it. I really don't think you sign up for making a product that's so heavily processed just so somebody somewhere in a marketing department can call it cheese and get a few extra consumers over the line saying, oh, I'll try this, right? Don't think that's right. Don't think that's right. The number of brilliant nut recipes out there is multitudinous, right? You do not need to do this to satisfy some supermarket buyer's attitude that, oh, we can sell a bit more of this if we call it cheese. No, don't do it. Do not put the baby out with the bathwater. The end does not justify the need. I went onto the Vegan Society, their website, and it's what's right. With regard to alternative milk products, in addition to not being able to use the words milk, cream, cheese, etc. to describe food products, manufacturers will also be prohibited from using words such as style, type, imitation, alternative to be used as flavor, style, type, imitation, alternative to be used as flavor, substitute, like, or other similar words that help the manufacturer explain to the consumer what type of replacement for the food item in question is. I think that puts the Vegan Society position quite clear. They think this isn't good, right? They think they should be able to use these words to describe cheese products. Keen on this, they would like to be able to use these dairy-related words. And the law, as said, doesn't like this. The European Union law, I'm quoting from the Vegan Society here, the European Union law already limits how plant-based dairy alternative food manufacturing sets up. European Union law already limits how the plant-based dairy alternative food manufacturing sector can label its products. The words milk, cream, butter, cheese, yogurt can't be used on labels because the dairy industry wants to protect its dominance. Their words, not mine, not the EU's either, and make alternative plant-based products difficult to market or sell. The law that restricts the plant-based sector from using these words goes back some decades. Right, yes, it does go back some decades, and it goes back before this vegan storm, okay? Right, it's nothing to do with the vegans. This is about making sure these products have real meaning to the consumer, and that the food industry at large, which we all know is an unreliable chappy, doesn't abuse its position to start whipping out ingredients or abusing these products in some way to make them not what the consumer might expect when they see the word cheese, okay? That's fair. That's fair. It's true of sausages. It's true of jams. The customer has a right to be able to trust these words, and those words have meaning. And the Vegan Society and such people are out there going, no, those words do not mean that. Those words don't mean that. They mean something else. Well, I don't think so. I think most people think they do, and maybe it's changing. Anyway, law is looking to change, and so the Vegan Society goes on with regard to alternative milk products, in addition to not being all those words we talked about earlier. Blah, 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 blah. Replacement product. Replacement product. Right, there's a lot I don't like about the way the Vegan Society, they put it out there that they are being abused, and it's borrowing the language of the protester who thinks there's, you know, cabals of people who are compressing the ordinary happy little human into some sort of box of no choice. And, you know, not all of that is bollocks, but this is segmenting the audience legitimately to people who want cheese, who want dairy, and want to be able to rely on the words cheese and dairy. And if the people who do not want those things, they should avoid words like cheese on the packaging. Okay, so let's just get over the fact that these people over here want to take the words from these people there because they think they'll get more market share. It's a commercial decision by the vegan plant-based industry. It is not them being repressed by people with big loyalty, okay? Let's taste some of this stuff. Interesting packaging choices here, right? Okay, we've got Bonzan, cashew chive, cheese free. See what they did there? Got cheese on the label by saying there isn't any cheese in there. Huh, what sort of logic is that? I don't actually remember that, right? An acute accent. Acute accent goes the other way, so that's a Brave accent. Ferme? I don't know. So in French, ferme means closed if the accent goes the other way. Ferme without an accent means farm. Ferment is a French word, another word for rennet. So I'm assuming it's leaning into that kind of thing with this brand, yeah. Cashews fermentinos, fermented cashew. But actually, I'm being mean. This doesn't in any way say cheese or dairy product across the piece. So I'm not getting at this product. This might be nice. Lady in the nice shop in Seasons in Lewis very clearly said this wasn't a cheese, and it was thoroughly supported. I guess my position that this is legit. It's just not cheese. This one. This one, right? Okay, they are going all out by dodging the EU rules. I am not okay. I like that. That's cool. Matured cheddary, right? Matured cheddary. And look at that name. Say Dairy. Say Dairy. Now on the back it says Cedary, right? Which can you see that? Can you see that? Right. They want you to pronounce that cheddary. Say dairy. It means, is there any dairy in Italian? Say dairy? I think you need the question mark at the end of that to actually get that inference out of those words. But anyway, say dairy, cheddary. So they are dodging, going around the EU rules really quite significantly. Let's see if we can taste these. Bracton vacuum pack, right? I'm anti-vacuum pack, but I'm anti-vacuum pack on cheese, right? It's cut into a wedge shape, okay, but this is, it is just a paste. It has been shaped to look like a cheddar thing. There's no structure whatever at all. This is basically grout. Who is? He goes, yeah, it's bring it on, right? Now, I'm not saying there's not a lot of cheese producers out there. Oh, it's kind of oily. I suppose it would be. It'd be nut hot. Okay, it's the yeast extract that's the most powerful. A little bit of Marmite towards the end. Quite a lot of acid in there. Really making my tongue drip. I mean, there is a background of nut, I suppose, in fact, to yeah, it is a bit nutty. But it's the yeast extract that's... This is like Marmite. It's making my eyes run water. Right, in this one we've got Bonzan Absolutely Vegan Organic Cashew Chive Cheese Free Spread. But the spread's less, you know, look at that. That's less. The spread's like, feels like it's not part of the label. I've said I think this looks much more attractive. It just looks like a nice dip, right? That's all right. Feels like it's got sesame in it as well. What's of ingredients. Organic cashew and chive spread. Ingredients: water, sunflower seeds, sunflower oil, cashew nuts, chives, lemon juice concentrate, sea salt, agave syrup, maize starch, thickener, sour gum, garlic, onions, pepper, certified organic. Okay, that's borderline. That's borderline UPF. They've definitely got some shit in there, thickeners and that kind of stuff. But I don't know. It's all right. Is it a cheese? Does it taste of cheese? No. Why do you need to call that cheese? Why do you need to bloody call that cheese? Okay, let's get on to our Ferme of unknown branding provenance. Got that plastic here. Guess I prefer the packaging in that one. It's got a little bit of a creme brulee vibe, isn't it? Okay, texture is a bit firmer. Again, they've shaped it into this kind of puck shape, like a salsa share. It's drier. It's got a bit of a crab paste first look at it. Granular. Not a lot of flavour and it dies away quickly. There is a hint. Yeah, there's a hint of cheese in there to begin with. But it's overtaken almost like a bready kind of feeling to it. I guess that's sort of, you know how that sort of falafel, but finely ground, moister falafel kind of flavour. I think that's a chickpea, isn't it? That's a fail for me. It's not disgusting at all, and I'm completely comfortable having another bit, but the texture and the absence of a coherent narrative to the flavour, as in what is it, where's it going, what's it trying to be, as in it's not leaning on any specific characteristics to go, oh, that's a really nice expression of. It's not doing that. Not really sure what it's for. So I paid, that one was £6 or something, £5.95. This one a little less. Can't see any reason to buy these. I just can't. Ugh. Right, let's have a quick look at the ingredients of this guy. Cashews. First time they've had cashews as the top ingredient. All the other, both two other have water. Cashew 69%, water 28%, salt, paprika, onion powder, lactic ferments from organic farming, making tetris of other nuts, edible rind. It's not got a rind. It's not rind. Edible rind just like says, I'm a cheese, right? It's not fucking cheese. Don't call these cheeses. I think that you are making this product worse by trying to imitate cheese. If you go down to why these are sins. Why are these sins? Because they're being made worse by imitating cheeses. They're being made worse. They're tasting worse. They're distracting and confusing textures. There's no story to them. You're either packaging in masses of sort of yeast. It's got to give a kind of like a marmalade flavour, or you've got this indiscriminate, non-directional flavour that can't decide from its texture whether it's a crab cake or a chickpea something or other. Look, that is awesome. Like, tastes great. Clear signalling about what it's for, how to taste it, how to enjoy it. I know what it is. I'm going to give a couple of points. I'm going to give a couple of points to this cashew chive cheese-free spread, because actually this is a standalone. No, it's all right. No, it's all right. I like that. Nice. These two on the bonfire. These two wasted everybody's time, money, effort, shelf space. Cheese crowd, leave them alone. Vegan crowd, make something more interesting instead.